And we are live. Amazing. So, welcome back to the LFC Toronto show. Before I get the guests on, you know what it is. I'm going to do the intro first. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the LFC Toronto show, episode 38. And we heard you last week. We got all the feedback in. So to celebrate International Women's Day, we're bringing back the crew of our fabulous OLSC women. Now, -1 from last week at the moment. We might have a drop in. But without further ado, let me add to the stage both AJ and Yvi. OLSC women, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. Yeah, pretty good. I actually completely forgot it was International Women's Day until some of our kind LFC crew sent very nice messages. So that was a nice way to realise.
And I'm good. And I'm wearing purple, which is one of the colours today as well, which is I'm spoiled. Green, white, or purple. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, before anything else, before we get into so much good stuff, I just wanted to, on behalf of everybody else at the OLSC Toronto Club, wish all of our community, including Yvi, AJ, Donna, who might drop in, and some of our other favorites and non-favorites, even people who aren't people who are regularly coming to the club. If you're part of this community, on behalf of the whole team, I want to wish you an amazing International Women's Day. I think what I'm most proud of as a LFC Toronto member, exec, and frequent match visitor is just how mixed and blended our community is. I won't say no names, but I did go to another couple of pubs last year on non-Liverpool days to do some content with other folks, and let's just say it was not quite as mixed and as diverse as ours was. And I know we reflect the global Liverpool fan base. I know we reflect the Scouse Liverpool fan base. But at the same time, it's super, super cool to see women, kids, so many different backgrounds, so many different other kinds of diversity present at our group. So had to start today by talking about that. And other than that, we're going to go right into two main orders of business. The first one is last night, and the second one is just this tiny little game on Sunday. So first up, who was at Elephant and Castle yesterday? Were you both there?
No.
I was there for as long as I could possibly be there. I couldn't make it for the whole game, unfortunately, but I was able to pop down for a bit. It was good. There was a good vibe in the pub even before we started. I think there's an excitement around, right, with some of the players coming back, and still a bit of a buzz around some of the young kids as well. So there was a good vibe in Elephant and Castle yesterday, at least whilst I was there.
Amazing. And on to the game itself, Yvi, thoughts on the performance, the team? Was it stronger, weaker than you were expecting? I'm guessing the performance was a bit stronger than you were expecting. Any thoughts on that one?
I'm happy that we went in with, or we ended up with a 5-1. And I'm going backwards here. And I made up that Dom and Mo got on the pitch as well and got some minutes. And Dom got a goal as well. And Mo got a goal. And it wasn't offside. It was perfectly fine. Yeah. And the fact that it was Nunes's goal was, the first one was Jurgen's 1,000th under his tenure. So there's some of the key highlights for me. But I thought, it's an away game. It's first leg. Let's just get a good result in the bag so that we don't have to play the full strength next week, so that we can go in full on next Sunday against Man U in the FA Cup. Few little scares. Sparta Prague were on it. Keller, there she is. Keller was amazing doing some of his acrobatics, and Joe off the line as well. And Canate, I was pleased with it. It was difficult to watch because I was working at the same time as well. So I was trying to multitask, but I watched some of the highlights afterwards as well. And enough about me. Look who's just joined us.
Hi guys.
Welcome to the
Hello
show,
from
Donna.
Liverpool. Hello from Liverpool. We're getting ready for our event. So I have some people here that want to say hello to you guys.
Yes, please.
We have I'll let her introduce herself to you. So do you want to say?
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So we're here for the International Women's Day for the Live Girls event, and I'm DJing tonight.
What?
Oh, cool.
And what kind of music you going to be playing?
All sorts. We've got all Liverpool music, all the Beatles, and then we've got loads of girls' songs.
Of course. Any particular favorites of yours?
Do you know what? I do love the Beatles, just all the Beatles songs.
Of course. Amazing. Well, nice to meet you, and thanks for jumping on the show.
It's all right, thank you.
So that was Neve. She's the DJ for tonight. And we have someone here from visiting us from Belfast.
Hello, hi.
Hello. How's it going?
Hi. Not too bad, not too bad. My name's Linda, and I come over for the Live Girls International every year and meet up with Donna and the fellow girls here, so I do.
Amazing. And how's the vibe right now? Big match on Sunday. Obviously, there's a few nerves probably.
Oh, I know. So we're just going to try and get tonight over us and enjoy it. And of course, we have an Ireland rugby match tomorrow, which we're going to enjoy. And then we'll get revved up for the match on Sunday.
And how proud are you of Connor Bradley right now?
Oh, goosebumps. Goosebumps.
Amazing. Thanks for jumping on. Lovely meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda. So I have a special lady here. Ragnall is supposed to be joining us shortly, but she's out doing the final touches on tonight. So I have someone very special here. She's well known. You see her all the time on social media with Kenny Dalglish. Like, who doesn't she know, really? Like, she knows everybody, Maka, Ian Rush, so many. But I'll introduce you. Her name is Christine, and I'll just let her introduce herself.
Amazing.
Hi there, I'm Chris from Liverpool. I prefer to be called Chris. She's probably got me as Christine on Facebook. I don't really know all those wonderful guys she's mentioned, but I've been fortunate enough to meet them all and have pictures took with them. Yeah.
Well, thanks for jumping on our show. We're coming at you from Toronto today, where obviously Donna is from.
Toronto.
Hi, and
hello, love.
I've been to Toronto. I love it. I went right up that big tower, and I watched the Blue Jays play as well.
Oh, nice.
Amazing. Yvi's from Liverpool as well and moved to Toronto, and so's AJ. So you're with two other Scouse girls on here.
All right, hi.
Wish I was with you, Chris. I wish I was there.
Chris,
you guys can follow Chris on Instagram. But so Ragnall, she's trying to. Yeah, do you mind? Yeah, actually. Do you guys want to keep talking, and I'll just show you around? Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Talking. I'll stick you on mute for now, and then anytime you're ready, just give us a shout. This is cool. This is such a cool show because it's like proper live. And obviously, thank you, Donna, for sharing all of that with us so far. I'll flip back to the match just while Donna is going on. So, AJ, thoughts on the front three now? Because obviously Darwin's back, Mo's back. Who I'm guessing you're starting with those two.
I am starting with those two for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, there's still some massive players that are out for us, but just that momentum of having some of the guys coming back is really special. I think the big thing for me, honestly, like going into yesterday, I know they were a bit unfounded, but the rumors about Kelleher being injured, that was my big worry. And then in the first 15 minutes, probably some massive saves from him. Like, his confidence must be super high. So I do feel like at both ends of the pitch now, we're, really strong and like pretty confident going into the weekend. It's making me a bit dizzy, this. But yeah, I mean, up front, like, the great thing as well, I mean, we can start with whoever, right? But they're all great coming off the bench as well. There's not one of them where, like, as a defender, if let's say Nunes starts on the bench, I don't think he will, but for argument's sake, he does. Like, he's not coming on, and as a defender, you're not absolutely terrified, right? Like, you just worry. I mean, there's no way that Salah coming on and you're like, oh, great, like Nunes is off, cool. It's only Mo Salah. Like, that's not a thing. So, yeah, I have really confidence, especially going into the last 20 minutes of a game, that our front three, whoever's on at that time, can deliver.
Amazing. We'll hold that point. We've got someone else on. Hey. Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ragnhild Lunansnes. I'm a Liverpool author, and I am the crazy brain behind the Live Girls International. And my brain is quite sort of fried right now because we're only like minutes away from kicking off. I'm creating this beautiful little picture collage of Missy Kearns, you know, the youngest Liverpool Football Club captain in history. She's coming to talk, and she shared with me some beautiful pictures from her childhood. It's really moving, actually, to see her like playing alongside Curtis when she was little in the boys team, and how she was mascotting, you know, in front of Gerard and Torres, and now she's, you know, just doing incredibly well and coming to join us tonight, which will be very inspirational for us.
That's super cool. So just make sure Donna definitely share the handles, the social media handles with us, because we'd love to like clip this little bit up and like share it on our post. We have pretty active social media audience, so we'd love to show them quite what's happening at Anfield right now. This all sounds so exciting.
And now we've got a really brilliant footballer in the room. She just arrived from the Netherlands. Check this one out. She's one of the best freestyle footballers in the world. She's flown in to talk to the girls and show us some tricks tonight. I just have to give her a hug. Excuse me. Sorry.
Okay. And next year,
sounds good.
Next year, Yvi and AJ, you're coming. But there's someone else here that I think Yvi knows and Jake knows very well. I think Azaz, you may have met her too.
Hi everyone. How
Hi.
are you? I didn't get
Good.
changed
How you
yet.
doing?
It's great to see you all. We're good. We're gonna have a great party tonight.
Yeah, this is Kim from the Netherlands. If you guys don't remember her
or don't recognize my face because I changed my hair again. Nice
Super
to see
cool.
You all.
Nice to see you too.
Guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna sign out for now, but thank you for putting it on, Azaz, as always. I'm gonna have a good night. It's been a tough week, so I'm ready for partying, and I can't wait. So love you both. Love you, ladies, beautiful ladies. Happy International Women's Day to you guys. Okay.
Have a good one, Donna.
Bye, Donna. Thank you. Have a great one.
Azaz, I think just before, I know we'll get back to yesterday, I think Liverpool women are playing tomorrow in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a full action-packed weekend for us, right? Like, obviously, Donna's given us all a great excuse to get on the lash tonight, and then the women are playing tomorrow. I think they're playing Leicester, if I'm not mistaken, and then they're 5th in the league on goal difference behind United. So the women are having a good season this season as well for the Reds, which is nice.
Super cool. Yeah, I mean, before we get onto City, we can fully get into that as well. Would love to hear your thoughts on that side as well. Let's just wrap up yesterday before anything else. So we go to Prague, we win 5-1. Still a makeshift team. I mean, ultimately, we have a lot of players still missing, still coming back. I certainly, for one, was not expecting such a strong showing. Like, I thought that it could have been a little bit closer than that. I still expected us to take some kind of an advantage into next week. So what, any final thoughts on yesterday?
I'm just glad that it sounds like Canate it was more of a precautionary thing, because my heart sank down to the floor when I saw him sort of coming off, and Joe Gomez as well. So it sounds like they might still be available for Sunday. But overall, I was happy with the results. I said, get a good cushion, means that we don't have to play the big fellas, you know, next week. And I was obviously happy with the results.
Yeah, the only kind of final thought from me is what a great game to score an own goal in. Like,
it was a great goal.
It's inevitable, right? If you're a defender, it's inevitable you're going to score an own goal at some point. What a brilliant game to just bury it in. It doesn't matter. It's done. Like, we still won by 4. perfect way to score an own goal, I think. Like, because it must be a big mental blow, like for a young defender to do that, and for it to just not matter at all, I think is good.
Absolutely. So let's move on to tomorrow. So we do have the Liverpool women's season unfolding as well. So before we don't normally talk too much about it, something we need to get ourselves involved in more. So before we go on to tomorrow, very, very promising season on the horizon. So obviously, Champions League qualification is usually what Liverpool's men's team won as the minimum. Feels like that might be a little bit out of reach at the moment, but still competing with Man United and Tottenham. So we're definitely in the upper end of the season. Are you folks excited that we have such a strong team now at Liverpool Women? And any thoughts from your sides?
I think so. I mean, I was lucky enough last year to watch them at Prenton Park when they played City, and they basically stopped City's team, women's team, winning the title. That nailed it, that game. So, and we got to meet some of the players afterwards, which was just fantastic. It's like a real community vibe there as well. Big crowd house. So it's great to see them doing so well this year. Watching the standard of play, like I catch the odd game like now, but actually being there at Prenton Park last year, it was phenomenal. It was like the speed, the pace, the skill, absolutely out of this world. And to stop City women's winning the title at that game was just perfect. So I'm glad that they're doing so well this season. That they're up in the upper echelons of the table. So wish them all the very, very best. And it's lovely to see Missy having a mural around Anfield as well, which is pretty cool.
It's nice. Like, it's nice to see a few Scousers in the team, or in the squad at least as well, on the women's side. Like, you do get that again, like they were just saying, right? Like, we have Curtis Jones, we have Trent on the men's side, and to have like the equivalent on the women's side, I think the standard's only going to get better and better. There's still a way to go, but it's improving so much. It's pretty cool. Like, what no one even spoke about it, the women's team, when we were growing up in Liverpool, I think, but now it's it feels more like one club, and that like interaction between the two. Like, that people might not know, the women now train at Melwood, which they used to just basically train in the park. Like, so it's it's progressing pretty quickly. And I think it's nice that the leadership of the club seems to be invested in it as well. And they're seeing the rewards. Like, they fell so far off, and now to come back and be in the top 5 beyond halfway through the season is, I think, beyond where they probably expected to be. So, and they do a lot in the community as well, right? So it's good.
I think that's one of the biggest things I noticed from moving from the Northwest into Canada is, I was played an active role in the football community back home. And then I moved here over 10 years ago and immediately saw that just how much the women's game here does with the community, including right after the game. So, one thing that isn't done or may never be done in the men's game, and I'm glad because it sets the women's game apart, is you kind of like hang around a little bit and then you leave. The men never come back out unless it's like a trophy or something. Even then, they don't really come back out. And what's so cool about the women's game, including the Canadian national team, they come back out and like they hang out with the fans and they sign things. And it's just so much more of like a accessible feel, which again, I think sets the game apart. And yeah, it's super cool to see. We go to some of the black tie events and things, and like you always have like the women's team represented there as well.
There could be, I mean, maybe the strongest chance of a Canadian playing for Liverpool is in the women's team, right? Because there's more and more Canadians in the WSL now, so that would be pretty cool if we could get a Canadian in the Liverpool women's team.
Yeah, then if they're ever home watching the game, then they have to come on down to Elephant and Castle and join us, because that would be super cool. One of you mentioned standard. So if you look at the final 8 teams in the FA Cup as well, like it's hard. Like, it's all the best teams, all the good teams are still involved. I think Arsenal are the only one that has been knocked out. So we play Leicester at home tomorrow, Prenton Park. So your neck of the woods, I think, a little bit, Evie.
It's just up the road from Yanti Lils.
Just up the road from Auntie Lil's. We all know and love Auntie Lil. Shout out Auntie Lil. And the final is actually 12th of May as well. So if anyone of our community is heading home or heading that way for some of the final proceedings and we're still in there, have a look on the website. We don't have access to tickets, by the way, but like, if you are interested, then keep it locked to the FA Cup's website, because if Liverpool get there, what an epic end to the season that could be, simultaneously while Jurgen's as well. Amazing. So moving on, I know it's a work day and I know it's work lunch, so we probably have a little bit tighter time than normal. Let's full steam ahead. Let's start looking to Sunday. So before we start getting into the match itself, Evie, give us some housekeeping on how it's looking for Sunday. We are expecting the single biggest show so far, including the Carabao Cup. We're expecting Sunday to be the busiest it's been at both Elephant and Castle and Sly Fox this week. So please give us a rundown of how things are going to go.
Yeah, so expecting same crowds, if not even bigger, just by the traffic that we've had on our socials and the requests and etc. that we've had in. So from a practical standpoint, both pubs are open at 9:30 for premium member access, and then general member access from 10 a.m. However, I would still urge people, if you do want to get into a particular spot in, especially the Elephant and Castle, because we're sort of separated over, well, we're in 3 sort of sections, get there early. Don't come at 9:30 and expect just to walk in. I can guarantee there'll be a queue. The League Cup game, we were round the block with the queue and we were at capacity 45 minutes after the doors opened. So that's the only overarching message I'd say is get there early if you can. And you know, hopefully anyone who does queue up does get in tomorrow, because it's going to be a cracking day. We've got a few events in the pub going on as well, so always a lot of fun. It's the fun place to be. And the Sly Fox, our Daniel does a sterling job down at the Sly all by himself with as many hats on match day. So you know, anyone who's out west, again, same thing, same timings, but you know, get down. I nearly swore that, but get your down there early. And that's about. I mean, that's all I really need to cover. Everything else is on our social media, so you'll be able to see any more little bits of details that you want.
Yeah, I will also put up the carousel today on the social media. So again, we'll break down all of the do's and don'ts. The only thing I have to mention, because I know what's on the carousel, is do dress warm if you're coming to line up, because it's Toronto, it's March, it's going to be cold on Sunday. It's not one of those abnormally warm days. So please do wrap up. So let's do this. AJ, you're going to pick us a team. Evie, you're going to like basically approve or counter that team, and then we'll get into some predictions before we wrap up. So AJ, hit us with your starting 11, please.
All right, I'm going to start with Kelleher.
Wow.
I'm not going for Adrian.
Okay.
Kelleher. I think Bradley starts. And then I guess it depends on Konate's fitness. Sounds like you were saying it's a precautionary thing that he came off, but maybe I'd go Van Dijk and Gomez just to be sure, and then Robbo at left back.
Now, Robbo did play 90, so but Evie's the one who's going to challenge you. So keep going.
You keep going.
No,
I was just going to say, do you know what? The way that Simi stepped up for Robbo while he was out, it's like I don't have qualms that I have over many previous seasons when a key player goes out. I go, okay, one's out. Someone, you know, they're going to step up and put a shift in. Maybe Simi might start to give Robbo a bit of a rest because the game was only yesterday.
Yeah,
we shall see. But again, I have no qualms at all with Simi starting over Robbo and give him a bit of a rest. The poor lad's getting on though. He's nearly 30 now, Robbo. Which
Robbo.
That's good. He'll always be 25 to me.
No, I mean, I think that's true, right? And then again, in the middle, like if Konate's fit, great, but we don't need to take chances on people who might not be. Like Gomez, I think, can do a solid job. Kwanzaa's done a solid job as well. So I don't think there's either of them, especially with Van Dijk beside them. They're all like 3 inches taller when they're next to Van Dijk than they are without it. So any of them, can step up, I think. And as long as, if it is Kwanzaa, as long as he has Van Dijk beside him to guide him through it, then he also looks kind of unbeatable at times, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important points to make about our back four, which is I've never seen a defender in my years of watching football make 3 different defenders play at a world-class level. So we've had Matip, we've had Joe Gomez, and we've had Konate constantly playing at a world-class level, and the common denominator is Verge. So, I think as much as we don't particularly want to see Kwanzaa, and he played some like loose passes out into the midfield yesterday as well. So I have no beef with him playing in any game, including on Sunday. I think Konate, Joe Gomez, we should be covered. But to Yvi's point, the options are just crazy because in a alternate universe, you could literally have Joe Gomez instead of Bradley. You could have Konate or Kwanzaa instead of you said Gomez in centre back, but you could have that, and then you could also have Joe Gomez left or Simi left, and obviously you went with Robbo. So as much as we are hampered a bit by injuries at the moment, we're still so blessed with the options that we have. Okay, move it forward into the midfield.
Yeah, just one final thing on the defence. The great thing about our left back is that they've both got decent songs. So the pub should be bouncing whichever one plays, right? Whether it's Robbo or Simi.
Yeah.
No excuse not to be loud on Sunday if one of them is playing, right?
So true.
I don't know. I mean, is Endo going to play? I feel like Endo is rock solid. He's the guy I kind of trust the most in that central defensive thing. But I think he played the 90 last night, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure. Endo, McAllister, it's hard to look a bit past. I don't think Elliott will start on Sunday, who I guess was the third guy in there yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
But having said Elliott's not going to, then it's like, well, he's actually the senior player out of the other options, I guess, unless I'm
mad, isn't it? I know, it's mad.
Maybe Dom. I don't think Dom's going to start though, is he? After what did he get yesterday? Like 25 minutes, half an hour,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot.
No, I doubt he's going to start on Sunday. So maybe Elliott will. Maybe Elliott will play.
The thing is, if Dom's showing in training the fitness available, then having Elliott to come off the bench is also usually a really, really big moment, like a game changer. So,
yeah, probably that's the ideal scenario, right? Like Szoboszlai can start, and then after an hour you bring Elliott on to run. I mean, Elliott's just going to run at people, right? He's got the pace and the ambition to do that. So probably that's what I would go with. And I think Gakpo's the guy that drops out, isn't he? So I would go with Nunez, Salah, and Diaz probably.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, isn't it? It's like you're the City fan. It's a City fan. You'll be just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Elliott, it was because there was a point before we got all injury slapped. Was Elliott was coming on as like a super sub style at the time, and now he became a regular. More of a regular in January and February. And then you saw how ticked off he was when he got subbed last week against Forest. Like, he was angry. Like, he was really ticked off. And I think that's maybe frustration that we still haven't scored at that point. But there might be a little bit like he's full of confidence. Like the guy, he had 100 appearances. Was it last week or the week before for Liverpool? Which is mad because it feels like he's only just been there a season or two. And what can you say about like Nunez, Salah, and Diaz? Like my only nervousness, well, not nervousness to a degree, is just because Salah has been so out of the picture for the last
2 months, basically. Yeah.
And Nunez was like his 2 goals yesterday, both worldies, like they were just amazing. And I'm like, how are they all going to play together again? I mean, they know better than us, but is that magic going to gel on Sunday? I'm pretty confident it will be. But But it's just funny because Nunes has been taking a centre stage where that's normally, Salah's,
No.
where Salah is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably the most blessed team up top anyway, like in terms of options. And obviously at the moment we don't have Jota as well available. But for a 4, the fact that we've got those 4 are super, super exciting. And I just think as well, I know I've made this point before, that they can't stop Darwin. Like, he can miss, he can have different moments where, it doesn't always come off. Sometimes he obviously thinks, like, he plays on instinct more than with his brain. But in terms of physically, they can't stop him. And that really excites me, because I've been looking at both City and Arsenal's games recently, and they're both on these really good runs. But, like, you can't compare that to what's coming for City on Sunday, or for Arsenal, what's coming on the 31st, which is City, because they've just played back-to-back Sheffield United and Burnley. And, like, their fans are acting like it's friggin' the Invincibles reincarnated. But it's like, those 2 teams, you got to beat the teams. I'm not mocking the 6 points. The 6 points are 6 points, and they're on the board. But those 2 teams are also on par with maybe being the worst teams in the history of the Premier League era. I know Derby County in like 07-08 are currently that team. How can you compare that with who they're going to play on the 31st at the Etihad? By the same token, City have struggled recently against Chelsea. United could have been 2 up against them, and then, yeah, sure, they would have needed to get 3, but they probably would have got it. But, like, how can you compare that to Anfield with that front 3? Like, it's pretty exciting. Not getting ahead of ourselves. I still think, until we beat City ourselves, City are the favourites at the moment. But at the same time, I don't find City are favourites on Sunday. That doesn't mean that we're going to win. Doesn't mean we're even going to get a point. But with the home crowd and the players on the form that they're on, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I think, like, the types of goals that we're scoring is so varied as well, right? Like, you even take Nunes as an example of that. You look at last week and you're like, okay, he's a threat in the box. Like, he's a big, tall guy. He's clearly not just a shit Andy Carroll, but he is tall and he is physical and he is in that space. But then he also scores screamers. So, like, and he's just like a microcosm of the rest of the team, right? We're like that kind of everywhere. We're all over the park. We have a more, I guess, varied style of play at the moment, which probably is harder. And I'm hoping that that's in City's minds going into Sunday. Is they don't really know what type of threat Nunes is, or Salah at the moment, because he is coming back and you don't really know where he's at, right? So, it could be interesting.
And I'm loving the link-up play with Maka and Nunes. So, I mean, obviously last weekend, which was immense, but then last night as well, for his second goal as well. There's like this, I don't know, this link communication that's going on. So I'm loving that link-up play with them. Yeah.
And then, like, I guess where City maybe do have an advantage is that their bench might be stronger than ours on Sunday. I'm assuming. I haven't seen exactly who's fit and not fit in their squad, but you can't not have faith in our kids after, and they've played in a cup final, and some of them have played away in Europe, and they have these experiences under their belt. It's not like the beginning of the season where these kids were kind of untested. Like, now, if you can play at Wembley in front of that atmosphere and not bottle it, then hopefully you can play at Anfield and not bottle it either. So I think there's, like, lots to be confident about, and maybe again, like, the unknown element of these kids and how much it means to them is. I didn't love Trent. I didn't love Trent coming out and kind of poking the bear. Like, I like it as a fan, but I don't. I think it's not really the right time personally. But if he's thinking that, you can guarantee that's what the rest of the dressing room is thinking, right? And Trent's in everyone's ears telling them how big it is and how much it means to the fans and the city and all of that. Like, I like that that's an internal narrative. I don't love that it's an external thing that they're saying, but hopefully that will help us as well.
So if we quickly look at their team from last week, because I don't think anyone's come back So assuming they played their strong, well, I mean, this is their strongest team. The first 11 is ridiculously good. So Edison, Kyle Walker, Diaz, Stones, Ake, Rodri, Foden, Silva, De Bruyne, Doku, and Haaland. So yeah, I mean, can be any team in Europe, current European champions, current Premier League champions, fantastic team. On the bench, like Alvarez, Oscar Bob, Kovacic, Sergio Gomez, Guardiola defender, Akanji's a defender, Nunes, who actually dislocated his finger last night, but he's apparently fit, and Rico Lewis. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like, yes, they are a brilliant team. Yes, I think that any result against them is a great result, and they're on fire at the moment. But like, if we are 1-0, 2-1 up, what they have to play with is a lot more limited, I should say, than what they've currently got in their starting 11. Can be anyone. They can be us. They can be Arsenal. I also think they can be Gotha, as United showed recently, as Chelsea showed recently. So it's going to be a phenomenal game. I'm going to put the ticker across just because, again, if you're joining us late, it is an LFC Toronto Red Day, of course, this week. Get on our socials because kickoff's at 11:45. But if you come at 11:45, probably not getting in, not where you can see a TV. So I wouldn't recommend that. Just before we do sign off, there's two things I want to say. Firstly, shout out to Wayne, Daniel, and Sultan, who have been having a great chat on the YouTube comments. Sorry we weren't able to keep up live with you this time. It's just been an all-action show, beaming into Donna. Looking forward to two huge games this weekend for both the women's team and for the men's team. And then the last thing before I want to get final words from both AJ and Yvi, before anything else, before Sunday, Liverpool, top of the league. We still are top of the league. It would be amazing if we can end the weekend in the same position. But regardless of what happens this weekend, Arsenal playing first tomorrow, us and City playing on Sunday. As we stand here on Friday, March the 8th, nearly 1 p.m., we are top of the league. So just wanted to celebrate that. Give us some predictions. I'll go with Yvi first this time, then AJ, and then we're out.
I feel like there's a goal fest happening this weekend.
Like it.
But I could be completely wrong, and it's going to be tense as hell, and it's going to be a 1-0. I just feel that both teams play so openly, so pressing. I just think it's going to be. I really do think it's going to be a goal fest this weekend. Like, to me, I'm edging with a 3-2. That's what I'm feeling. Obviously for us.
Yeah.
And it's that bloody Foden. We just got to keep him him under control. He's the biggest threat for them right now. Like, he's playing out of his skin right now.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's mine. I'll go with 3-2.
I'm going to go with a 2-1 Liverpool. I think we might go a goal down, but keep the faith and we'll come back strong.
Amazing. Well, I mean, 2 wins on the board. I'm going to make that 3 wins on the board. I'm just going to go with a bog standard 1-0. I kind of feel like Kelleher and Van Dijk's combo at the moment is hard to penetrate. I don't necessarily find City as irresistible as I've seen recently. And that said, they're always able to score a goal, of course. But I'm going to go with 1-0. So we're all glass half full people. We are thinking that it's going to be that. And yet, if you think about it, even if we draw and Arsenal win with 10 games to go with the fixtures that are left, we're still in with a huge shout, especially considering they play each other on the 31st. So one's going to drop 3 or they could both drop 2. So let's just not get beat on Sunday. I think that's the main message. But as far as we're concerned, our message from LFC Toronto is the Reds are going to win. This has been a wonderful show again. I'm loving having you both and Donna on the show right now, so we got to make it more often as well. It's I think we're getting a new you're the A team and we've got like a V team as well, and we're gonna rotate between the two squads. But we've got a big squad now, and what a reflective position we are in of Jurgen's Reds. So thanks, Yvi. Thanks, AJ. It's been another wonderful show, and see you all on Sunday.
See you Sunday. Love the Reds.
Guys.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye, love. Bye.